on the mental health issue, the biggest mental health issue is addiction.
Right.
It's addiction to fentanyl. And frankly, all the government policies and all the public health agency approaches have made things worse. We now have, the drug dealer used to be a scary-looking guy on a street corner with a hoodie. Now it's a government bureaucrat who's handing out taxpayer-funded, unsafe supply, and that is contributing to the problem. So I will be cutting that off. I'll be shutting the drug dens, and I will put all the money.
I want to stop you there with the drug dens, because I'm actually very fascinated with that. Because since 2016, you alluded to it, more than 14,000 people have died in BC from the toxic drug crisis. You have been very vocal about these safe consumption sites, calling them drug dens. For the past 20 years, Insight in Vancouver, you mentioned Vancouver, has seen more than 4.6 million visits with 0 overdose deaths on site. So would you see a benefit to working with people who are frontline staff, who are advocates, who deal with this every single day?
Well, it depends what you mean by advocates, because the advocates are pushing policies that have made everything worse. Like, this approach of having government facilitate drug use has been really pioneered in British Columbia. It's been done more in BC than anywhere else in the world. And what are the results? The highest drug overdoses of any place in Canada, for sure.
But a lot of times those are people using alone, right? That's a big issue.
But why is it that in BC, where this policy has been most enthusiastically embraced by all 3 levels of government, we've had the worst results? Why is it that drug overdoses are worse here in BC than anywhere else in Canada? Do you have an idea of that?
I don't, but that's why I'd want to talk to a lot of frontline staff and people who see what's happening every day.
Here's the problem. These advocates now have an entire profit-making industry built around this. They have a financial interest in keeping this going. The drug companies that are giving the hydromorphine, the bureaucrats, the agencies, the advocates that get the money, the last thing they want is for the problem to go away, because then they wouldn't have a job. So we have built an entire industry and bureaucracy that depends for its livelihood around the continuation of this problem. And that is why BC is the worst place in Canada for drug overdoses. I'm not interested in funding advocates and bureaucrats and pharmaceutical companies that have gotten rich off other people's miseries. I want to put the resources into, you talk about frontline, I'll tell you who's going to be getting the money when I'm Prime Minister. Organizations that have a proven track record of getting people off drugs. In fact, I will have a pay-for-results contract for them, and I will be paying them based on the number of people they get off drugs.
Wow.
And it will be a results-driven approach, and they will be working to put themselves out of business by getting rid of the problem and giving people their lives back. And for anybody who's addicted, I want you to have the hope that you can turn things around. So many people have had their lives turned around through recovery and treatment, and that's what we're going to provide.
Right.